Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I want to talk about the real estate market in Botswana and give you 10 reasons why it could be a good place to put your money. I'll also give you some disadvantages and my conclusion at the end. So here are 10 reasons to invest. Number one, what I like is the strong rule of law. So Botswana is the least corrupt country on the African continent. And in actual fact, it's also the continent's oldest democracy. And in 2020, the Democracy Index put Botswana at the highest ranking in continental Africa. Number two, let's talk about GDP per capita. Now, it is one of the highest in Africa at $8,100. And what's also impressive is that it's ahead of countries such as South Africa at $7,300, Morocco $3,400, and Egypt at $3,000. Number three, I want to talk about the low crime rate. Now, crime rate is low in Botswana, in particular in relation to South Africa. And also what I want to add to this is that Botswana has had no recent history of terrorism either. Number four, and what I always think is important, is the total government debt to GDP. Now in Botswana, this is very low as of 2019 at 17.7%. And in actual fact, what's even more impressive, it's on a downward trend. So in 2016, it was 23.6%. Now these are figures that many Western European countries can only dream of. Number five, let's talk about the birth rate. Now the birth rate is 2.8 per couple. And that's pretty good. It does ensure the population will continue to grow for the foreseeable future. And this can only be good for the housing market. Number six, let's talk about the stable currency. So in May 2016, $1 got you 11 pula. In May 2021, $1 got you 10.6 pula. Now, that I have to say is really stable currency. And that's good when it comes to, for example, eliminating currency fluctuation risk. Number seven, let's talk about other economic factors. What I'm very impressed with Botswana is that the inflation is very much on a downward trend. So in 2008, it was 12.7%. But as of 2019, it had gone down to 2.7%. And GDP growth has been amazing in Botswana. And even in the last few years where it hasn't been as great as in previous years, from 2016 to 2019, it was nonetheless impressive at ranging from 2.9% to 4.48%. Now, let's come to point number 8, which is the real estate market. So the prices are low and the rental yields are high. And I know there is limited data available for this, but from what I've seen, you can get a house in the capital, Gaborone, for around 250 to 300 US dollars per square meter. Now, that is mightily low. It is very low. And even if you look in the most sought after areas, you're looking at around 1,000 US dollars per square meter. Now, when I say this is the internal space of the house. It doesn't include the garden or the pool, and most houses do come with a garden and a pool as well. And even if you look at one of the other major cities, so let's take the central part of Francistown, actually prime location, you're looking also at about 1,000 US dollars per square meter. And again, this doesn't include gardens, pools. Now, the yields are pretty good as well. So according to the Center for Affordable Housing in Africa and CEF Properties, you're looking at rental yields of about 7 to 10% in Gaborone and slightly higher in Francistown. That's very, very impressive. Number 9, another good thing is that you have no annual property tax. Number 10, I want to look at other taxes. So what's good is that, I want to add that it is a pro-landlord country, and income tax and capital gains tax range from 5 to 25%. So not incredibly high. Now, capital gains tax, although if you go over, let's say 144,000 pula, you will pay the top rate of 25%, and that's around 13,600 US dollars capital gains tax. Now, you may say that's not great in as much as the gain has to be only small to pay this percentage. But capital gains tax does get adjusted for inflation, and that's quite significant. And also you have deductions for things like acquisition and selling costs and improvements as well. So the actual capital gains tax you will pay will be significantly reduced. Now let's look at rental income tax. So from 0 to 72,000 pula as a foreigner, you will pay 5%. From 72,000 pula to 108,000 pula, you will pay 12.5%. So 72,000 pula is about $7,000 US. 108,000 pula is $10,200 roughly. And from 108,001 to 144,000 pula, you'll pay 18.75% rental income tax. And again, 144,000 pula is around $13,600 US. And anything above 144,000 pula, you will pay 25% rental income tax. But there are some deductions allowed. So it's not too bad. However, there are some disadvantages of investing in this market. Number one, I want to talk about high unemployment. So as of in 2020, unemployment was around 18.5% to 19%. And in actual fact, unemployment in Botswana has not been below 15% in the last 20 years. So that is one disadvantage. Another disadvantage is that there's not enough diversification in the economy. So Botswana, I think, is a little bit too reliant on diamond mining, which accounts for about 1/3 of GDP and a whopping 3/4 of exports. Number three, the ease of business ranking has gone down. So in 2011, it was 54, and in 2019, it went down to 87. Number four, I want to talk about an actual fact getting to Botswana. It is not particularly easy. There are very, very few direct flights, and I don't believe from outside Africa there are any direct flights to Botswana. I'll double check that, but last I looked, I could not find any direct flights. And this, I think, is a disadvantage if you need to visit your property on a regular basis or check how your investment is doing there. But what I really think could be the deal breaker for most people investing abroad, is the transfer tax. What do you call it? Transfer tax, stamp duty. Yeah, it's 30%. And that, I think, for most people will be a deal breaker. Now, this actually went up for foreign buyers around August 2019. I think this came into effect. It used to be 5% and it went to 30%. But what they did do for the locals, it was also 5%. But what they've done for the locals, for the first 1 million pulas, you don't pay any of this tax, any transfer tax. And it actually only used to be 200,000 pula. So what they did, they made it far more expensive for foreigners and far better for locals. And in actual fact, what's happened, it hasn't dampened the market in the last year or two, reading the articles that I have read. So the market still continues to do well. But again, you're going to say to me, your buy-sell costs because of this could range from about 35% to 40%. So it could be a deal breaker. Now, what I would suggest is that the way around this is to actually buy land, because land obviously is a lot cheaper. So you could pay the transfer tax on land, and most land is freely available in Botswana. There are very few areas where you cannot buy. And what you could do is buy some land and build a house. In actual fact, many people from Botswana do exactly that. They buy land and have the house built themselves. So you could do that to mitigate the transfer tax. So I think this is the only way you can really make a good investment in Botswana. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on Botswana. Have you ever thought about buying in Botswana? Has this video helped in any way? Love to hear your comments. Please do click the like button so that other people can watch this video. And if you do like my channel in general, please do subscribe. Anyway, that's it for today. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.